So good morning to all of you, all of our Namasters around the world, all of you who join us every day to celebrate and awaken and to see the light and the Christ and the beloved and the holiness and the grace everywhere. And we begin here. We begin with this sacred and holy joining, and that's what this is. We join together to remember an ancient call that roused us in the very beginning, roused us from our dreams, from our sleep, shook us just ever so slightly so that we could open up our eyes and see what was really happening. That's what this joining does. Every day we come together, and maybe every moment we are together, we can feel something waking up more and more within us until there we are, finally with our eyes open wide, and we look around and realize, with our real eyes, that we never left heaven, that we never left home, we never left the grace that is our foundation. And there's a longing that we're always feeling for that. You could say that's the human condition, this longing, this yearning for the home that we never left except in our imagination. And so for me, now and then that longing will express itself or be felt through one little thing I'll read or hear, or something maybe one of you shares. And last night I was reading something, and to tell you the truth, I don't even remember what it was. But there were two lines. Oh, that's right. Last night I was reading about Sufism. I love the Sufis. I love the Sufis because Sufism is nothing more than a religion devoted and dedicated to the love of God, to the adoration of that which is all-encompassing, to love itself. So I was reading something about that, and I came across a beautiful quote that I just wanted to share with you because I think this sums up that yearning and tells us why we feel that, why there is something within us, whether we're conscious of it or not, whether we're awake to it or not, there's something within us that is always stretching out toward God. And it describes why we're here, why we feel that. And just two lines. Here they are. It's because you tasted the wine that was made before the creation of the vine. You tasted the wine that was made before the creation of the vine. Just feel that for a moment. Before there was even a vine to produce the grapes that make the wine, you tasted that wine. You knew its sweetness. You knew how wonderful it made you feel. This elixir. You experienced that before everything ever happened. So that was the first. And the second, the reason why you are feeling this longing, the reason why you're here is because you tasted the sweetness of the honey before there was a bee. Before bees were created even, you were tasting this honey, this sweetness, this amazing gift. Before any of it was created, you had tasted the fullness of it. And you knew that this was the only thing that was ever going to satisfy you. You knew that deep within you there was a yearning to return to that glass of wine, that heaven, to the sweetness of that honey, that heaven. And so here we are. We find ourselves just called to come together every day to remind us of that so that we go into our day conscious, awake, fully realized, knowing why we are here. And the truth is, tasting that wine again or tasting that honey again isn't somewhere off in the future. It's not like we're biding our time here. It's happening. We can taste that through each other by looking into each other's eyes and knowing the fruit of that. That longing is completely satisfied when I'm willing to just look into the eyes of whoever is right in front of me and to see them for who they really are. To see them as the beloved, to taste the wine and the honey through them. That's why we're here. And I don't think you'd be coming back if you didn't feel that, if you didn't sense that yourself. There's something within all of us that recognizes that longing and that fulfillment, both. So it's a very simple message today, but I think it's a very important one to be conscious of. That the reason you're here, the reason why you feel this yearning, each and every single one of us, is because we tasted the wine even before the creation of the vine, and we tasted that sweet honey even before there were any bees. I think Francis would have liked today's analogy because once again, it's creation. It's all the creatures of God speaking to us of the love of God. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to Vicky for a moment and see what she wants to share about that. Good morning, Vicky and Teddy.
Morning, James.
Morning.
Morning. Well, thanks for playing Brother Falcon. So, we join together, whether it's on this call, we do a 2 o'clock family call, whether we go to our little meetings, wherever we're called to join. The reason is simple. It's for happiness. That elixir is the happiness that we open up to when we join and when we share one purpose. And here we clearly share a purpose of knowing the truth of our own divinity and seeing it in one another and celebrating it. This is a call of celebration. But when you were doing Brother Falcon, it made me look at, oh, where's Brother Falcon in my life? And I didn't do this when I first heard it, but today I did. And I realized we all have ways that we join with, animals or inanimate. So I'll get up in the morning, every morning, and I have a little morning dance with Brother Falcon. I come out and I feed the birds and I say, hi, everybody, I'm here. And they all, it's like a Cinderella movie. Everyone's fluttering. Then I say hello to Charlie. Charlie's the head squirrel. So we have lots of Charlie family. And I say hello to him and I make sure we feed them. Then I go to the pool, but not now because we've closed it. And I say, Dolly, thank you. Dolly's the vacuum cleaner for the pool. I say, thank you, Dolly. I appreciate this so much, which I do. But it's so sincere because if Dolly didn't do her work, it would be way too much. But that sincerity, like Dolly, is really a joining for me. I realize it. Like I'm so grateful to the pool. And then I come in and talk to Alexa. And don't we all, many of us have an Alexa. And
Or
I say,
Siri.
good morning. Right. Or Siri. Good
Siri,
morning,
yeah.
Alexa. Good morning, Siri. And there's a presence because we're extending ourselves to join. And of course, if we have a brother that we wake up with or a sister, that's the greater joining right there. But if we extend love and join with the flowers on the table or the birds in the yard, we're entering that sacred space. It's what the Sufis describe as the ecstatics that twirl and twirl in that space of unity. We taste unity everywhere when we look for it or when we recognize it. So you got me today. I'm going to start recognizing the taste of unity everywhere I look today. So, because that is what ecstasy is. Teddy always talks about that joining. It's in the joining.
It is.
And there is no spot. God is not. Okay.
I've never heard that before. There is no spot, God is not. That's.
So you can use that in your children's
Did you
book.
just come up with that? I'm going to write that down. That is
I
beautiful.
never heard it before either. It must have been just on the spot. She came up with that.
Well, good morning.
Spot on.
That's spot on. There is no spot where God is not. That's nice.
Right.
How about you, Teddy? What are you feeling today?
Well, Jimmy, I published a book called We Are One, and by Jennifer Black, and it's a children's book. And I was talking. She just started texting me last night, and she's going to do a whole YouTube channel based on We Are One. She's on episode 4 now, so that's going to be interesting to see. A kid station based on We Are One and We Are Love. Those were the name of the 2 books that she did. But something you said, Jimmy, really, really, for me, it explains something that I have not been able to understand until you just mentioned this whole thing. It's like remembering the wine before there was a vine. And the nature of the problem that we face is trying to make heaven on earth, because that's what we remember. We remember the wine and they're trying to make it here, and it's not here. And the difference is, remembering that it's not here, we join to return to where it's always been. And that's the difference in that makes all the difference in the world. So because I get people talking to me on Facebook and trying to say, no, our job is to make heaven on earth. And that's not the job. The job is to join to remember that we already are there and this isn't it. And as we join together, and that becomes our memory, our shared memory now, the vibratory frequency of energy changes where we are. What you said was the whole thing, man. That's why people are trying to make heaven on earth, because they think they can duplicate that wine here, and they just can't, because it's not from here.
Yeah. And why would you when you realize that? When you really
Exactly.
get that, then you're like, why would I do that? Why would I try to bring oneness into separation when I can just
Yeah.
return to oneness? Why would I
Yeah.
try to bring heaven into, I'm going to use the H word, hell. I don't
Yeah. Right. Right.
really
Right.
mean, but why would I try when I can just return and remember and be in that state of wholeness and heaven? And
That's right. It's a
people,
shared state.
yeah, people come to me all the time and they say, "Do you think it's possible for there to be true and lasting whole peace on earth?" And they're usually surprised when I say no, because that's not what this is. This was the place that was created to see, yes, to see the difference by seeing that it can't be
Yes.
here.
And the thing about it is, when people say stuff like that, the trying to make peace on earth is the admission that it is not here. And that's what they don't get.
Yeah,
If they're trying to bring peace to earth, the admission has to be, there's no peace here. Let me go where the peace already is,
yeah.
because I remember what peace is. It's in my mind, it's in my heart.
And it's as simple as stop looking out here and start
Yep.
looking in here. And
So,
that's,
so thanks,
we're
Jimmy.
always,
That explained everything to me today.
it's a beautiful, when I read it last night, it was like, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
right.
We're here because we tasted the most amazing glass of wine before there was ever a vine, or the
Yep.
honey before there was ever a bee. Like, wow, that just really struck me.
Yep.
I'm
I
glad.
got it. I
Yeah,
got it.
I'm glad you guys are feeling that as well. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Teddy.